you on? Hi, welcome to oh, hello, this is Charm, this is Holly, and Annabelle Lee. And I'm Elie Elis, and this is my studio apartment. I'm a world preschool artist that wants to build a school internationally for world peace, interconnect them. So I want to show you some of my paintings. And we'll start with this one, which is called Exile. It's a different take on a purple color. I had done lavender for world peace, but it's also the red and the purple, and it's oil paint and gold leaf. And I'm a neo-Dadaist or mess art, and I absolutely love Dada art, and I do think in public schools we need to teach the different art movements, because we do have many museums, and I meet so many people that don't know that genre of art. This is one day the vim of a snowball fight, and I threw my paint and messed it, and I put the primary colors for the children, because that's a lot of fun when you're a child. And my daughter Morgan's taping this, by the way. This is Morgan. She's my 18-year-old. This is her camera. This is called Crash. It's burlap, oil paint, and it's meant to look like a school bus. And that's a stitch of a. You want to take a closer look in on that? That's upholstery. A stitch in time saves 9. Just for every psychological aspect plus safety. I think seat belting the children in school buses. Plus, Dave Matthews has a great song named Crash. And yeah, it may not hang over your sofa, but it's pretty. I think putting seat belts in buses, you know, to give them some structure and stuff as they go to school, that somebody cares about them. And this one's an unfinished piece. It's about my partner that had died of leukemia. He was a federal attorney and a judge. Well, he's a pianist, and he was just brilliant and kind of my muse. And this was after the book Line in Blue by Flor Coles. If you get a chance, check it out. It's a good book. This one down here, I was kind of struggling with. It actually has a realism. Here, let me hold it up. I was kind of struggling. I was like, I didn't like it, and then I put a lavender wash over it, and the surrealism. I sleep late and always have dreams that inspire me, but it does have a painting underneath it that's realism. I'm beginning to like that one. And this is an interpretation of my family in folk art kind of style, but also neo-Dada. This is Hillary, this is me, my son, and Morgan right after the divorce and or the separation. My ex-husband's an alcoholic. And this one, we had gone through bankruptcy, so I thought the money just disappeared. I mean, we owed all this money, and they said, no, you don't owe it anymore. So I thought the reality of the life of the gold leaf and the gold, and then all of a sudden it's like, well, you're poor, but you don't owe the money. I don't know how the system works like that. I don't know what America's doing with our money either. I mean, we're trillions of dollars in debt, so we may have a pending bankruptcy or just continue printing money and having every price continue to go up. And this is just a watercolor of a house that my family lived in back in the 1800s when their other house burnt down. They built this house, they've taken it down. And this one, I think it's almost an American right to have fun. Sometimes it's so much fun you cry fun. But it's paper and oil and some gold leaf. I think it's fun. It's a fun piece. Now whether it lasts a millennium, I don't know. I'm going to go over here. This is my small kitchen where my daughter and I live. And this painting, I know it's not everybody's taste, but I really like it. And one day after my partner died, it jumped off the wall and hit the floor. And it's on my website, the story, but that's the painting that did that. And the wire hadn't broken, and so there's no scientific proof for ghosts, but that was enough to tell me something metaphysically was going on. And then I got into Metaphysics by Aristotle and the Metaphysics of Morale by Immanuel Kant. And I'm into Critique of Pure Reasoning. But there was no answer. And get a close-up of this one. This is a thimble when Kent died that he gave it to me. It's a bent thimble because I do a lot of sewing in my work. and he gave me a holly for Christmas. This is a pin drop. This is about my grandma who was a nurse. This is family. I started about 30 years ago, and I'd done this drawing, and then I sewed it. And then this says, "Do unto others as you would have them do unto you." And it's kind of like a stage front, and these are the seats. And then Shakespeare's everybody's a stage. These are shoe buckles from my great-grandmother. So a lot of this stuff is, like this was a ring my grandma gave me. And this was in her purse. I took her purse apart and made it. It was a bunch of stuff in there, and I took her purse, my great-grandmother's purse apart. And this one over here, it's oil, but to understand it, you have to know I took a pastry bag, and I filled it and mixed the colors. I think it's pretty much straight color, but that's a lot of oil paint. And I pastry bagged it on there, and I call it cake. And and then I think of Marie Antoinette and our government and what's going to happen, and we just kind of got to wait and see as the plebeians become more educated, I hope in the future to do better. But Socrates and Plato, isn't the democracy was run by the 20%. So we're having a new day and era when other people can vote. And this is a relationship about, it was funny, I got involved with this guy, and he said, "If you have a baby, you can give it to me." And there was just, I think he had mental illness and needed lithium or something, because he was a super smart, nice guy, but he really had some issues, and there was no way. Plus, my tubes were tied. I wasn't going to be having a baby. So anyway, it was a funny moment to me, and I think we all feel like aliens at certain times in our life that we're apart, but that was an alien moment. And did you get my floors? This is a structure in which I felt connected, and I think Kent said the same thing. Our brains were connected, and so I feel like we worked on that one together, working together to create some kind of structure that made sense. But it's oils, oil paints. Vermeers are small. You don't have to do really big paintings, and considering the condition of our society today and how people's houses are and what the real situation is with money and stuff like that, I'm not sure it's appropriate to do really big paintings. I've done a few, but... Okay, and then this one was my table that I painted on for over 20 years, and I moved and I disassembled it, and I was making fun of a guy I was seeing that was... He was Mensa, he's pretty smart, but in my family, we had a Down syndrome lady named Honey, and he used to get he could only have one beer and he'd be out of it. He was real sensitive. So I wrote that on it about him, but it's also about our society and how we just kind of gel out to our iPhones, and in a lot of cases you actually need to be doing tactile, hands-on things to really learn something. You can be getting all kinds of information, but to progress and get your brain going, you got to actually do it. So then this last one over here, this is real old. I did this when my daughter was taking a nap. My oldest daughter, 26, so she was about 2, so it's about 24 years old. And I just admiring stained glass windows, and I did this one. I was like, I love stained glass windows. But I'm going to do some more videos.
You don't want to do the tampons?
Oh, yeah, we can do it. These are very unaccepted at the moment. People just don't want to see tampons on the wall, but I feel like in the future they're very longevity, they're acid free, and they're gold plated, and it's the new day and era of educating women and giving them more opportunities to work. And we still have ways to go. There's still a lot of sexism going on. Guys just can't seem to get their minds off their penis.
Yeah, and catcalling is terrible.
Yeah, catcalling. But we have a lack of education in our system. And I know men that do those things, and I know men that don't. And I know the ones I'd rather be around.
Well, you can always stand up for yourself.
I would say Peter Culley, the architect, would not catcall you, Morgan. He would think that would be rude.
Well, you can't really choose.
Did you get a close-up of them? They're very
I
detailed.
did.
And there's 100 of them. And I put, it's oil paint and gold leaf. And it's called the gift, but I call it the dancing tampons. I think they look like they're dancing. And I upholstery threaded them, and I poured glue water, and then I gold leafed them. And I put varnish on them so the gold leaf doesn't fall off. But I gold leafed the tips of the tails. But Ian was my friend from Roanoke, and then there's Kent. And I named them after everybody. They just came to mind, like this is HV, my NHV. I was like, that kind of reminds me of her.
Where's mine?
I don't know, somewhere around here.
I saw it. I can't remember where I saw it. I want to see what mine looks like.
And this is my service dog for when I'm on the wrong medicine. People don't get that, but sometimes they have to play around with your medicine when you have bipolar.
Charm, you're cute.
And if I'm having a hard day, she helps me.
And this is Belle. She pees on the floor all the time.
Oh, she does. But I have a lot more art, and eventually I'll get it out there. Here's to Jack White. Aren't we all thankful we have Jack White? Jack White.
I know I am. All right, are we done?
Yeah. And